my name is Lily and welcome back to my channel. My hair is doing things. But I was supposed to film this like 3 weeks ago. So it's wow. Recent reads number 2. I read most of these at the beginning of June. I haven't actually read a book since like the last week of June, or finished one. I've been reading, haven't finished one. But I have 5 books to talk about, so let's just talk about them. So the first one I read on audio, wow. And that is The Elephant's Girl by Celeste Remington. This is a middle grade book about a girl named Lexington Willow, who a tornado kind of like ripped her from her family, and she doesn't remember who she is. She doesn't remember her name, her real name, who her parents are, and so she goes in this journey with her friend Fisher to try to find out who she really is and what happened, and it's just so magical and whimsical. It's magical realism. It's amazing. I absolutely adored it, and it's definitely made me love elephants 10 times more. So that's fun. But I just love this book. I think it's just a must-read because it's so beautiful, and I cannot wait to read more from Celeste Remington. That was her first book. I actually got to meet her over a Zoom call, so that was really fun. I just love this book, and I love the name Lexington. That's fun. And she was one of my favorite new characters from June. I have technically 5, but like 2 of them are together, so you know, it's like I count it as one, but she's part of the 5 new favorite characters. And again, I only read 12 books last month. I say only. That's a lot. Okay, the next book I read, which I have literally talked about so much, it's kind of insane. Google by Blood by Helen Jackson. I love this book. I don't know how, unless you're like brand new here and this is the first video you're watching from me, then hi, my name's Lily and I'm obsessed with this series. So this is the second book in the Ugly Girl's Guide to Murder series. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's what I'm calling it. There's supposed to be 4 books, and I just want the 3rd one because, there's no cliffhanger at the end, but like, you want to know, like, is Pip, we know Pip's not okay, but like, I still need to know if my baby is okay. But the first one follows a 17-year-old Pip who decides for her senior capstone project to uncover the Andy Bell case. The Andy Bell case is that 5 years ago, Andy Bell was killed by Sal Singh, but we don't actually know if it was Sal Singh because he killed himself. And Pip does not think that Sal killed Andy, so she decides to, find out who really killed her. This is the second book, and we follow Pip again after the events of the first one, and someone she knows has gone missing. That's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to spoil anything. And I know it's a mystery series, and there's no cliffhanger, but I definitely recommend reading the first one first, because there's a podcast involved in this, and it's literally says who kills Andy in this book, so. But yeah, I love this book, I love this series, I love Pip, I love Ravi, I love all the characters, and there was Stranger Things references in here, and I was head over heels for that. Stranger Things. But yeah, I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I also gave The Elephant's Girl 5 out of 5 stars. Most of these are 5 out of 5 stars. Well, most of these that I'm going to talk about are 4 stars. Absolutely adored this book, definitely recommend. Trigger warnings for the first one especially, mention of suicide, oh my god, sexual assault, drugs, that kind of stuff. There's not as much of that kind of stuff in here, but the first one, there's a lot of drug stuff. The next book I read next 3 are all part of a series, and the first one is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This was a reread for me. I reread this so I could finish the series, because, it was like 2 years since I read it. If somehow, by chance, you've never heard of this book before, 1, how? 2, where have you been? But this essentially follows 16. She's 16, right? Yeah, 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen who, well, okay. So the Hunger Games is this thing that, so every year there are 12 districts, 12 different places where people live, and each year the capital, which is like the center of the 12 districts, makes each district send in 2 people, 1 male, 1 female, to participate in the annual Hunger Games. And Katniss Everdeen, what's it called? Volunteers for the place of her 12-year-old sister, so she has to go into the Hunger Games, and it's so, so good. The movies are very good as well. I loved Catching Fire. The movie was amazing, but I absolutely adored this book. Upon my reread, I did like Peeta more than the first time, but there's a love triangle, definitely, in the series. I do not like Peeta or Gale, but I definitely like Peeta a little bit more upon the reread of this book and upon, like, you know, reading the rest of the series. I definitely like him more. I mean, I definitely liked him over Gale, but I liked him more upon the reread, so that's fun. But yeah, and I love this series. I've heard, like, there are so many mixed reviews about the prequels of the series, but I want to read it, even though it's 500 freaking pages. I want to read it to see my thoughts. And this was a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I wouldn't give it a 5. I don't know why, but I don't think it's 5. So, the next book I read is Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, and I read it. I finally continued and read this. I read The Hunger Games back in 2018, and then I started this and was bored. And I watched the movie a few months after, and I was like, oh. I love the movie. It's so good. And I finally read it, and I think what helped me push through the boring parts were the fact that the arena, and from the point where they start to, like, the training or the arena part until the end of the book is just, like, action-packed and so, so good. I remember after I finished the series, I rewatched Catching Fire, and it was like 10 o'clock at night, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna finish this movie because with the monkey part, if you've read or watched the book. If you've read the book or watched the movie, then you know the monkey part, and it's a scary part because the monkeys are scary. And so I was just like, okay, we're gonna pause this because I really don't want to have nightmares tonight. But it's so, so good, and I think that the arena, like how Suzanne Collins made the arena, was so, so creative. And I have 3 favorite characters, and which are, in case you want to know, are Finnick, Joanna, and Rue. This is my top 3, top 5. Katniss would be my top 5. But, I love Katniss, like, I don't know. But those are my 3. And Katniss is in there, we don't know where, but we do meet Finnick and Joanna in this book, and I absolutely adored them both. Finnick is really, I love Finnick, I don't know. Joanna is very interesting. But I give this a 4.5 out of 5 stars just because I thought the beginning was slow when I first read it. And the last book I'm going to talk about in this video is Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. I read the majority of this in an audiobook. By the majority, I mean pretty much all of it. So I think I will reread this eventually, so I can get the full take. This book. Why? Is all I have to say. Like, why did person have to die? I knew 2 people who were gonna die. Because spoilers are a thing. And I feel like reading it was like, I didn't realize one of them died. Like, I knew they died, but I didn't, like, my brain didn't register that until the other person died. Then I was like, wait, what? Oh wait, yeah, they died. And I was crying because I love both of them. Did they have to die? No. Neither of them needed to die, but they both did. I was very sad. But I did not like this much I didn't like this one as much as the other two. I just found that, like, it was kind of, I don't know. I don't know what I found it to be, but it was a very interesting conclusion, and I do like the fact that what Katniss did in the end, and who she shot the arrow at. I thought that was very, like, you go, girl. But I'm intrigued. I was intrigued throughout this book, and I finished it somehow. And yeah, I gave this a 4-star. Like I said, it wasn't as good as the other two, but I do really want to read The Palace of Songbirds and Snakes because I'm very intrigued to see, because my mom told her friend about this channel and about how I read The Hunger Games, and her friend was like, you know, she loves The Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, and Mom told me a little bit about it, and I was like, whoo, whoo, and I want to read it. I know a lot of people don't like it, but some people really love it. So, those are the 5 books I've read recently. I was like, all week, all last week, I was like, okay, I'm gonna post this Wednesday. And then I kept forgetting what I was gonna post. Like, oh, I'll make that video. Wait, it's not what I have to post though. And this morning I was like, okay, it's Monday when I'm filming this, and I'm like, okay, I gotta film this. This is what I gotta film. And I was like, okay, let's just film before I forget. So, yeah. I did not tab. I don't know why. Didn't tab these. But yeah, those are the books I read recently. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. What are some books you've read and loved? You've read recently and absolutely adored? I'd love to know. So tell me in the comments. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!